So you and Reagan are coming up on this fort. The olive sky has gone to red and on into a deep dark purple, and on the far side on the eastern side of the horizon, over the Sea of Silt, you can see that blackness and stars are starting to twinkle into where you can see them. That hasn't quite got overhead yet. This fort is it's not real huge. It's got like one tower and then, a curtain wall that encloses a courtyard, with several small buildings inside, and then it has like 4 other like turrets on the corners of the wall that don't have tops. They're just open, and it is built right on the edge of the estuary of the fork, kind of the northern fork. Speaking of which, I know they're very familiar with it, but since you may not be, I don't show the map too much, but since I know you're not very familiar with it, but your character would be.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Where'd you get the map?
This one actually came with the revised box set.
Oh,
so
that's a nicer map than the one.
Yeah. Well, it's got a paper map too, but there's the city, and you guys are right about here.
Okay.
And this is the Sea of Silt, and over here is the southern fork of the estuary of the Fork Tongue, and this is the northern fork. So the fort is built like right on the edge. Right on the shore of the fork.
Okay.
Of the
Cool.
thing there. All right.
Cool.
But yeah, that's one of the best things about this box set. This box set just came with the paper map of it. This box set came with that cloth map and an expanded map that showed more beyond.
Oh wow.
Showed a bunch of new land.
Cool.
Where was I at? Yeah, and you notice that it doesn't look like it did last time, where there are a few soldiers patrolling the walls or up in the turrets, and the gate is parted slightly. So, what do you reckon is kind of like,
Yeah.
so something's happened here.
Yeah. So we can see at night. I can see at night because I've got the infravision.
It's not quite completely dark yet either. So.
Right. I want to use my psionics danger sense.
Okay. Let's see. I should have. I got so busy with the technical end, I forgot to get your guys' characters up here handy. That's first. Just so I know the numbers.
Yeah.
To tell you. I mean, you got it in front of you.
I can tell.
Know.
Yeah, the PS is 14.
Okay, so you're rolling that or less.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna roll that. And I rolled a 3.
Okay, so you're able to turn it on?
Yep.
Now, do you know, you have it written down exactly what that does? Because I've got a vague idea, but I don't know.
Oh, I do not.
Okay,
I do
well,
not.
it's in here, so it'll be
Okay,
all right.
cool.
Danger sense, page 33. And I'll go ahead and read that out loud so that we all get a sense of what danger sense does. Danger sense. When using danger sense, the psionicist will experience a slight tingling, so basically you get like a spidey sense, slight tingling sensation at the back of his neck when a hazard or threat is near. The DM must make a successful power check. Oh, I should roll it.
Okay.
So that, because that way, kind of like with the find and remove traps, you don't know if it worked until you try it, you know?
Right.
But that's okay. I can go ahead and tell you that currently, let's see, what's the range? Range is special, of course.
That's
But yeah, you don't, it is eerie here, but you don't sense any impending danger directly.
okay. We'll, I guess we'll approach the gate, like, cautiously.
Okay, so do you let him know that?
Yeah, I'll tell.
It seems clear or something?
I'll tell Rickon that I don't feel any danger, but I think we should be cautious. And does Rickon have the ability to move silently or anything like that?
He does have, because he's a ranger, he does have some.
I asked him if he wants to scout out a little bit and take point.
Okay.
Because the last time I was here, this place was staffed, right?
Yes, it was. It was. He says yes. He pulls out. He's got a obsidian longsword. Yeah, that should. He pulls out an obsidian longsword and a bone short sword, one in each hand, and kind of approaches the wall, kind of slides along the wall looking around and looks into the parted gate, kind of does the whole pieing thing where he's okay, okay, nothing. Even kind of gets down on the ground. He's not doing that at head level. And he kind of motions you up like this, you know.
Okay.
I guess I should do that where they can sit in the camera.
So I'll fall in behind Rickon at the wall.
All right.
And I'm just going to take his lead.
All right.
Is Rickon wearing a red shirt? Star Trek.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for a second I was still thinking of his name. It's like, okay, character name Rickon. It's like, was there something in Game of Thrones? Because that's the only other Rickon I can think of. No, he is not. He's actually wearing kind of a tattered, kind of tightly fitting Enix hide cuirass with his arms exposed, and a pair of leather breeches, and with a short cape that's just kind of big enough for him to kind of pull around himself if he has to get out of the wind. And of course his belt and his sheaths, a couple of little bags and stuff. But no, so Rickon then looks in. He sticks his head in, looks around, pulls it back out quickly. He says, he leans back to you and he's like, you know, I don't think anybody's here.
Okay.
So he sticks his head back in and he's like, hello! And it kind of echoes off the far wall. And then he pulls it back quickly and he's like, oh man. He says, I didn't see anybody, he goes, but I saw something bad.
What'd you see?
It's like, come here, look. And he gets you to kind of look around, if you will, look around through the parted gate.
Sure.
And across the wall, across the courtyard, which is, I don't know, 75, 80 feet across. There's, through the wall, something has thrown a large boulder, you know, like bigger than a human could pick up. Something has thrown a large boulder through there, like that would be like a heavy ballista or a giant. And the wall is kind of crumbled in front of where, and the boulder has landed and dug a furrow and into the courtyard. When you look around, you see that, as you expected, it doesn't look like it hit any of the little buildings that are inside the courtyard. By the way, since somehow I lost the version of this that I made that had all the rooms in it. So I'll give you a quick look at the general shape of the fort and all.
Okay,
So
cool.
you guys are like up here,
Right.
and here's where the wall was busted out. And there's the
rock.
boulder, and then there's the big tower, and the Sea of Silt over here, and you're in Rocky Badlands, so that's what that denotes. And then there's like all the little turrets.
Okay. We don't hear any voices or any animal sounds or anything.
No, about all you'd hear is something. What's it called? You hear a kestrel calling, so basically like a carrion bird just kind of.
Wow. You see any dead bodies laying around?
You do not see any dead bodies. You do see that there are. It looks like there are several other rocks, maybe not that big, that have landed in the courtyard, like they were thrown from the outside. But it looks, for all intents and purposes, from what you can see of the courtyard anyway, it is abandoned.
All right. Well, we'll go inside and shut the gate.
Okay.
And then try to find a place to camp for the night.
All right. Because you've been here before, you know that directly next to the gate there is a gatehouse with kind of a window. It was small. That was intended for handing like weapons through, so that they had like an armory that they would as you came in, if you weren't a member of the Balic army, you had to give up your weapons while you were there, and they give them back to you as you came back out, so that people wouldn't cause trouble. But there doesn't seem to be anybody manning that. That's off to your left. And beyond that, there's a building that you haven't been in, but you suspect from just having seen things come and go that it's some sort of storehouse they've got over there. To your right is the building, relatively small building, say 20 by 30, that was one story, and it had a bunch of small rooms that people who were visiting the fort could stay in. And that's the last time you were here, that's where you'd stay.
All right.
Like I said, by small rooms, they're like cell size, they're like 5 or 6 feet by 8 feet or something like that, just enough room for a bed and for you to lay your shit down next to your bed and rest your head, and then have a door you can close behind you, kind of thing. And there's, I don't remember, 7 or 8 of those in there. Beyond that, there is what used to be what was the stable, and it's kind of next to the tower. So like the armory, the storeroom, where I was talking about you could stay. This is just open area here, stable, and from what you watched as you went on, if there are any prisoners, they're taken over here. And then this is it's a big 3-story tower right there, but you've never been inside.
Right on. Well, since it's getting dark, we'll shut the gate and see if it can be locked. We'll lock the gate. That way, if somebody comes, then they have to go through the busted through wall.
Okay, so you got just one way they can approach.
Right, and then we're gonna try to find a spot to see if we can get into the storage building.
All right. Okay, well, you're able to do that pretty easily because there is aside from just like the more complicated parts of it, the main locking mechanism on the gate is just a bar that falls across, and then there's like a little thing that you can kind of put up like that, so somebody can't just open it that way.
Cool. So we'll do that.
So you're gonna go over to the store.
Hi, this is Moneymaker, your dastardly DM. I just wanted to take a moment to check in and make sure you are enjoying the show so far. If so, please let us know by clicking the like button and the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and leave us a comment below letting us know your favorite parts. As I'm sure you've already noticed, we had some technical issues. A few problems with the green screens, but mainly mic issues. We think we have it figured out now. Hopefully by the second half of Season 1's recording time, we should have the new mics to clear that up. If you'd like to support our endeavor and allow us to give you higher quality product, the easiest way to do that is to go to my Subscribe Star page and subscribe. You can find the link in the video description below. There's all manner of gaming stuff there outside of the show, but you can also find things such as NPCs and monster art that I've used, and character sheets for all those NPCs, and for the player characters that you love so much from the game. Alright, I think it's time to get back to the show. Hope you have a great day.
All right, you go into the storehouse, I should say. Low building made of adobe brick. It's doesn't have any windows, and its only door is standing open, but it has not been busted off. It's just nobody closed it, or if they did, they didn't lock it. You can see in so far right now that, like I said, once again, you're at the edge of twilight, so it's not quite dark enough for your infravision to have kicked in yet, but you can still. And once again, your character would know this, but since this is the first time you're playing with me, the way I do infravision is a lot of times, if you're just in a place where everything's about the same temperature, you're seeing you're seeing maybe a mottled color, but there's blues and blacks in the cave, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It may be a little difficult to get a whole lot of information out of it, but if somebody walks up on you,
You see them.
You see them real easy because it looks like predator vision, basically.
You're right.
But yeah, you can see into there and see near the door that there are, to the left-hand side of the door, that there's a wall that has two doors in it, and to the right-hand side of the door, the rest of the building, which is about 12 feet deep and 18 feet wide, is an open area that has it has a few empty. They almost look like impromptu litters, where it's like two sticks and some canvas for carrying, since they don't have like forklifts or anything, just for carrying stuff here and there. There's not a whole lot in here. There's a couple of there's a large bag of grain that was burst and they just left it behind, but it's still got plenty of grain in it. There's let's see, what else would they have in there? There's a couple of bundles of a dozen flat arrows, but for the most part, it looks like this place has been emptied out.
Okay.
It doesn't look like you're coming up on the aftermath like you're the first ones to find it.
Right on.
It's kind of like, okay, maybe either somebody's come through and cleaned out everything they wanted, or the Balic army just pulled out and that's what they left behind, wasn't it? All right.
Cool. So I guess we'll keep exploring. How long do you want me to go on with this? Do you need to go to other players?
Oh yeah, well that's what I was going to say. If you want, I can say Rick suggests that maybe since the tower was like basically a keep, that maybe that would be a good place to we could close that door, find like one of the.
Sounds like a great idea.
Okay.
Let's
So
do that.
you guys go in, and since it's round, you go in down a long straight hallway, and then it splits into a round hallway. And exploring, you find several. You find a kind of an open bay barracks on the far side.
Okay.
There's a well. There's like a little hall with a little room that has a well in it. That when you guys pull up the bucket, it does have water. And it's actually kind of cool water because it's a fairly deep well. You find a bunch of other what seem to be like officers' quarters because they seem to be single occupancy, and some of them are a little larger than others. While, like I said, there was the open bay barracks on the far side that seemed to be, depending on how much they hop up to, it was 12, 4 guys. It's hard to say. And then there's a spiral staircase in the middle that goes up to another level, and and there you find once again, all the doors seem to have been left open. You find a room that when you walk in, the wall is, instead of being like this thick, like one brick thick or something, it's like this thick. And the door is extra heavy, made out of extra heavy planks, and seems to be put together particularly well. It has a sturdy locking mechanism, and the window on it is barred with heavy mechalith bone, only leaving enough space for what would basically be like a few arrow slits. It's not a real big window. So this appears from, and the room has empty racks in it, like spear racks and stuff like that. So this may have been the armory. And Rickon says, he goes, this looks like we can close ourselves up in here. We've got a little ventilation there through the window. We can build our fire over there. So he gets to working on building the fire. If you'll lock them in, and then like you said, we can switch on over to Dot's Hole. All right. You remember what I read you? It's now just barely the end of twilight. You are scrambling across the Stony Barrens there, trying to get to that fort that you know is nearby, having left out of South Litopolis a couple of days earlier with a group, and being, as far as you know, the only survivor.
It's because I could run faster.
Yeah. You come up to the fort, and you see that the gate is actually closed. There doesn't appear to be anyone on the tower, and you got to get in, because you know these things can't be too far behind you. They weren't moving real fast, but they were after you for sure.
Did I notice any other ways in as I was running up?
You don't know. There may be another gate. You're not sure.
No, then I'm gonna circle around and see if I can find another gate.
Okay. As you go around, you see that there is there's been a large hole punched through the wall on the far side of the gate.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try and scramble over that.
So you hop through the hole in the gate. You've not been in this fort before, but it's kind of what you would expect. Open, clear, sandy area as a courtyard with a large three-story tower keep. As you come through that hole, is going to be off to your left, and then there's a stockade off to your right. The stairs going up to the catwalk are next to that, just beyond that stockade, and then there's a couple of buildings over here and a building over here, and the main gate's directly in front of you, and you can't see what is beyond the wall. Kind of stretches around, and because of the curve of the main tower keep, you can't see what's beyond the other side of the tower keep.
Well, the keep to me is going to be the safest place.
All right, roll me, since you're looking around, roll me a wisdom check.
Wisdom is an 18. I rolled a 2.
All right. Well, the first thing you do, you think, it makes sense to look at the windows. You look around at the windows and notice that one of them that is heavily barred, there's the flicker of a campfire. You can't see the actual flames themselves, but you can see the light kind of pulsing in the window. So it's either a campfire or a rave. Yeah, you guys are in there. So you go over to the tower,
Yeah.
the keep. All right, the keep is, as I described to him, it's a fairly large round tower.
So I try and open the door.
Okay, the main door to the keep is standing open, and you get into the hallway, and by now it is very dark, and it is.
I want to close and lock the door behind me.
Okay, you can do that because the latch is made to be easy to lock from the inside. There's no torches in here, so you're dealing with blacks and blues from your infravision. But it is enough that you can navigate by it. You can kind of see the outline of the edges of the stones that make up the hallway in blue with black at their edges. You make it down 18, 19 feet. The hallway, splits, and once again it's curved, just like the outside wall of the keep. And if you look down one side, you see a couple of doors opening up. You look down another side, you see another couple of doors opening up until it curves too far that the inner wall obscures your vision. Directly in front of you, there is a door, and you can see the base of a spiral staircase in front of the door. And it appeared that the window that you saw the firelight in was on the second floor.
Alright, well, I'm going to head towards the firelight.
Head up to
Yeah, to where I
Okay.
think it would be.
Alright, you go up to the second floor, and nice present surprise. I thought that was some of the sausage, but it was bacon. You go up and start walking around towards that area, and it's pretty obvious which one it is because every other door that you come to is standing open except for this one door is pushed in.
Normally I'd want to kind of listen in on conversation, but at the moment I need to let them know that
And this seems to
I'm
be
bringing
a very heavy door.
unpleasant company with me, so
Okay, so
I'm going to go ahead and pound on the door.
okay. What are you gonna say? Open up, please. I got a warrant.
Let me in.
I hope you're friendly, because what's coming after me isn't.
Okay, well, you hear a pounding at the door and a
Okay.
woman's voice saying that.
All right. What? What are you talking about?
We're about to have unpleasant company.
Okay, well, all right. You're not unpleasant, I hope.
Not at the moment.
Okay, I'll open the door and introduce myself. Hey,
All right.
you know.
And if you guys want to describe yourselves or show pictures or whatever
yeah.
you can.
I'm Django, and I'm a weary traveler, and we were just trying to get some sleep here, but I guess that's not going to happen.
I'm Dosfall.
Okay.
Call me Dottie. It's easier.
Okay. So I guess we should probably lock the door in the first floor.
I did.
Okay, you did do that. Okay, cool. And we're gonna put the fire out so that they can't see, because I guess that's what drew you to us, was we had this fire going.
Right.
So we're gonna put the fire out so it makes us less obvious. Fair?
Keep watching after the credits to find out how to win this chainmail dice bag, dice not included. Oh, and if you're enjoying this episode, let us know by hitting the like button. Now back to the show.
It's really unfortunate that last weekend was so screwed up, because if we'd have played this through, you could have role played it out easier without me having to say, okay, this is what you saw there. But I'll just go ahead and say for you that you had been down in this crypt kind of looking for something, and it was just kind of general, supposed to be treasure down there. You'd been hired on because of your familiarity with, because it was a crypt and they were afraid they were going to run into undead, your familiarity with death and all that. But they had, there was this one thing just laying in a sarcophagus, and when they opened it, it had like a scroll case. There was a kind of a desiccated, worm-eaten body that had a scroll case, and it was holding it like that. And when they removed the scroll case, it opened its eyes and started to slowly get up, and the skin under its under its skin started to wriggle and writhe like something was going on under there, like something was moving around under its skin. And everybody decided that it was time to GTFO. And on the way out, a bunch of undead that seemed to be, you just didn't have the time or weren't experienced enough, a little bit of both, to really do anything with them. But a bunch of them started just kind of coming out of the woodwork all the way around. And you saw several of your fellow raiders go down, and you got the scroll case, but you didn't, and got away. But you don't know if anybody else got out. So if you want to then take that version of it and tell whatever you want to tell.
I was with a party and they were looking for something, not sure what it was, wasn't really familiar with them. I'm the only one that made it out, I think. I didn't hang around long enough to find out we were attacked by hordes of undead.
Oh my. Well, not cool. Not cool. Alright, well, let's try to hunker down and maybe they'll pass us by.
Sounds like a plan.
I don't know what to
Not
do.
a good plan, but sounds like a plan.
I don't know. What do you think?
You are in a fortified place,
Yeah.
so that's, if you're going to be somewhere, that's the place to be.
Yeah.
All right, and he has with him a human ranger that I described earlier. He's like, he kind of nods at you, and he's like, "What was your name again?"
Dottie.
Rick. He says, "You any good with a bow or anything like that, Dottie?
No, unfortunately.
Can you do anything at distance?"
I have a dart gun. It just really pisses people off.
He's like, He goes, "Okay." He goes, "How about yourself?" Well, he would know it
Yeah.
because you guys have been traveling companions.
Yeah.
Are you any good at I don't remember what you got when it comes to your
I don't have a ranged weapon.
Yeah, okay. And not any good at a ranged weapon. Okay. So he's like, "Okay, I guess I'll be covering from up here for now, and we'll just, like you said, stay held up here, and I'll just take if they seem to figure out where we are, I'll just try to kill as many of them with my bow through the window before they make it to the door and start working their way on the door." So he says, anybody else? You guys, any experience? Any ideas?
There were a bunch of sheaf arrows in the storehouse. We could get those.
He's like, do you have any clue how far behind you they were?
They were pretty close. I don't know exactly how far away, though.
Give me an intelligence check real quick.
I failed.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'll just leave it at that. I was going to give you some misinformation, and I was like, well, no, that's obviously misinformation. So I'll just leave it at that. So he's like, "Ooh, do you mind going and getting those since you know where they're at?"
Sure.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna run down there real quick.
And let me do something real quick before we do this. You know, one thing that I neglected to get, my dice.
Oh, we need dice.
Yeah, my dice.
Probably safer without them.
Probably.
True.
You had to lock the door. And the gate. It'll be fun coming in.
Remind me before we leave, and I'll show you this too.
All right.
That's the great area.
Okay. That's a loaded question or a statement.
Yeah, it's his other characters. Something he won from a deck of many things. But other parts that I missed a couple of things.
I need to buy him brand new dice that aren't so loyal to him.
Ooh. Or hide his good ones.
Make sure you curse them or do something to them before you give them to him.
That's smart. Is he a good roller?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Oy. All right. So, you gonna be cautious about it, or you just gonna try to run quick to do it?
I'm just gonna try to go quick.
Okay.
Speed before brains.
All right.
And I am an elf.
Well, half of it, but still, you're pretty tall, so pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you scramble down the stairs and out to the door and unlock the door, fling it open, and run out towards the storeroom. You can hear off in the distance kind of just 100 times over almost.
Oh
Maybe
no.
not 100, but
Yeah.
you hear the shambling or the moans and cries of creatures unknown out in the darkness beyond the wall. How close exactly, it's hard to say. But so you run in there and grab them.
Yep.
Okay, you run in there and grab them and come running back out. And about that time, you see just these wretched figures starting to crawl over the jagged remains of the what was the wall. You know, they're just kind of
Right on.
they don't look like they're moving very fast, but so you're pretty sure you can easily make it to the
I'm gonna do
to
it.
the door
I'm gonna
before
go.
before they can stop you. Okay, so you run to the door quickly.
And shut the door.
Shut the door behind you. All right. You want to do anything else before you run upstairs?
No.
Okay, so you shut the door, run upstairs, and
I keep thinking there's something else to do, but
yeah.
I can't think of anything.
You first.
I'm gonna shut. If there's a door, if there are other doors that need to be closed to block off quick,
Yeah. There's you could close the door
I'm gonna close all the
at
doors.
the base of the. If you're talking about on the path to you,
Yeah.
you could close the door at the base of the.
Yeah.
Both ends of the stairs close off. Since this is a fortified, they basically got it set up where you can you have to break down a bunch of doors to make
Right.
it up to the next level and the next level.
And we want to make sure that we have plenty of water. Like make sure all our water jugs are topped off.
You want to run back down and
Is the
And do
well?
that.
The well's on the first level, right?
Yeah.
wells on the first floor.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, I guess we want. Do we want to do that? Do we want to make sure we have water? We need to do that.
Well, you want to run in and ask them.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so when you run in, Rickon's like, "What were those things? I saw them crawling into the courtyard. Did you get a good look at them?"
Oh, a couple of them bit me.
He's like, "No, they didn't. I was just kidding." Cover up your arms.
Yeah.
No. He's like, "What?"
No, I'm just joshing.
Okay. And they did look. Like not quite black liquefaction, but they did look pretty Walking Dead zombie-ish, you know,
Right on.
worm eaten and well beyond looking fresh.
At least they're not fast zombies.
No, these are
Those are the-
Radiated zombies.
phyto zombies. Remember those?
Yeah. 28 days later zombies.
Yeah.
Those are no good. Yeah, I'm like, do you think we need to make sure our water skins are filled up? I'm gonna, so that we don't.
Mine's pretty full.
I don't know if mine are. I guess mine are full.
Yeah, I basically started you out at
Okay,
a
alright.
full.
I guess we're all
you
good to
found
go.
like water source somewhere out in the.
Yeah.
Or I'll say that you took the opportunity when you found the well to
Right.
fill it up. So that's a normal day's worth, or if you ration it, you can make it last longer than that, especially since you're inside. Okay. And where is she? say is remember your special abilities on this, especially considering you're pretty much, when it comes to weapons, you're all melee, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't have any ranged yet.
So remember your special class abilities and stuff when you're doing this. Okay, yeah. Yeah, with you, that you're good Thacos when you're using your blowgun, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. That guy.
About
Sorry.
that time, you hear the door downstairs open and close again real quickly. Where is this one?
Zombies know how to open and close doors. When did that happen? Didn't you lock it?
Hey,
I thought we locked it.
At least they were raised right. They closed the door behind them.
I thought we locked that door.
Well, now I had specifically asked if you wanted to. You said you closed it.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Just letting you.
So I know who I'm throwing down the stairs first.
I did not lock the doors.
Well, you hear it. You can hear it sound like it's being locked behind it. Like
Okay.
it was open quickly and slammed shut, and then you can hear kind of the lock being worked.
Okay, cool. Maybe.
And there we go. You have that and that and that. Okay. And just couple more little things to write down, and I'll be ready. Like I said, I'm sorry
That's all right.
with all the prep this morning, I didn't get this part done. All right. After this, I can kind of wing it a little bit. Sound like somebody pulling up. All right. So you hear that downstairs. What do you want to do? Anything? You just kind of want to make note of it, or?
I think I want to go down the stairs and see who it is right off. I don't want to have to deal with two
Okay.
different threats.
All right. As you open the door and walk out down the hall and over to the door to the spiral staircase is closed. You want to just open it and look in, or what?
Yeah.
All right. You open it and look in, and you see there is a guy kind of pressed up against the wall like this, and he is kind of creeping up the stairs, but he has a fairly healthy looking pallor to him. He doesn't look all undead, but he has a short sword, bone short sword in one hand that he's just kind of got behind him like he's doing this, and he looks up at you and he's like,
Identify yourself or you're dead.
let's see if he tries to get smart looking. He says, I'm just a traveler trying to get away from those things. He goes, I walked up and they were out in the courtyard. Because my name is Damon. And he looks like this. Just in a different place. Like he brought that rooftop with him. I'll show you guys once he comes in.
We're all holed up here on the second floor. Come on up.
All right. He's like, thank you. And he comes up through the door and he locks it behind him.
Thank God.
And you guys are already starting to hear, on the
Right.
On the keep
on the
door.
door down there. But it is a heavy door. It's a fortified door, so it may take a while. And
Round 1.
as you're coming back, and you've seen Rickon while you were waiting on her as she went out. You've seen Rickon's. He's silently not silently. He's kind of cursing under his breath, but not trying to be too loud. But he's
Picking a few off.
picking a few off in the courtyard as he's going.
Good.
He's like,
Is there anything like rocks or anything we can throw out the window on top of?
this window has very small holes
Copy.
with the
Small
between
rocks.
between the heavy bone bars that are in it.
Gotcha.
And when she walks in, she has a blonde man come in behind her, and he's dressed in kind of muted. What's the word for it? What do they call it? Subdued colors.
Well, there you go. Yeah. All right. Cool.
And he's got a short sword. But he also has a short bow that's unstrung, that's kind of hanging to his side, and a small quiver of arrows that he's got hanging off his belt. It's only it only has about a half dozen, but it's there.
Nice.
But he says, he looks at each of you as he comes in and just kind of nods, kind of, not you because he's already met you. So you gonna say anything as you come in?
Do we really need to be shooting them out in the courtyard? Shouldn't we be saving those in case they breach the door?
Rickon's like, oh, yes, a bow's not much good when they're in your face. He goes, although it does seem to take 4 or 5 well-placed shots to take them down.
Oh my.
Yeah, I think I'd be hanging on to the rest of those arrows for a bit.
All right. Where did I put that? Damon says he kind of gets next to the door, and he's like, I'll get anyone who comes through the door. He says, just don't give me away.
Okay, that's fair.
So
Let 'em-
we
let 'em
should
pass
we should sell you instead.
Let them pass me. So I'll just come up behind them, cut out their kidneys.
Oh my.
So you guys can now you can hear there's groaning in the courtyard of what seems like a couple of dozen of these things, and you see or you hear from out in the courtyard also a voice, and it's gruff and gurgly and sandpapery. Kind of, I can't think of the name of that one actor. He's been in a bunch of stuff, but he was in Independence Day as the cable news director. The guy that's got the really sandpapery voice. Okay. Instead of him, RFK's voice.
Oh yeah.
Sounds kind of like that. Yeah, sounds kind of like RFK. That's the only person I can think of off the top of my head that has a voice like that. So he, but you hear kind of a loud voice that says, "Bring it out!" Hang on, let me see if I can even do it. Bring it out! Bring it out! Give it back!
And I look at you, and I'm like, what is he referencing?
I don't know. I look at Damon and go, "What have you got?"
He's like, I don't know who that guy is. He goes, there's no telling. He goes, he doesn't look like he followed me from town, though. He goes, I was trying to get out of town.
Hey, this seems like a good place to stop and tell you about the Slow Children at Play live show. Every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll live stream to all you fans. By the way, for anyone outside the U.S. who isn't sure what 7 p.m. Eastern Time equates to in your local time zone, we are in the same time zone as New York City, Washington, D.C., and Miami, Florida. In the live show, the Slow Children at Play will discuss the latest episode, answer questions from the comment section, and interact with the live chat. We will also announce the winners of contests, as well as any campaign-related news. On the subject of contests, be sure to pay attention so you'll be able to answer the question after the closing credits. I guess that about covers the live show. I look forward to hearing from you there. Now back to the action.
And you said that you had been somewhere.
I've been lots of places.
Didn't you say something about you were with some adventurers in a crypt?
Didn't say nothing about a crypt.
Okay. That's what I was like. I was wondering like how much my character would know.
You hear him outside holler, break it down, break it down.
I'm gonna cast Bless.
Okay.
Is it too soon to cast that? You think?
I think it's good for most of the
It's
combat.
good for 6 rounds.
Oh, that's 6 minutes, yeah.
You think it's too? I think it's too soon.
Okay, you gonna wait until
I'm
we're in
gonna
the
wait,
hallway
yeah.
outside or something?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just gonna hang out and see what happens. All right. I already read your starter
Earlier,
thing.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you guys are coming up on that fort, and you hear shouting from inside. Can't quite make out what's being said, but you do hear shouts from the inside and lots of groaning noises kind of coming up over the walls. The main gate seems to be closed and barred. Hippias says, around back, there's a way in around back.
Okay. I'll lead the charge around us with our group.
Yay.
He says, staggered formation, go. Which basically what he means is that you are at a point, and since there's, what did I say, 5 of you guys, you've got you at the point, 2 over here, and well, it's not quite staggered, 1 over here and 3 over here. So you're
Okay,
kind of
I
moving
got
in
you.
an arrow formation with, if one line has 4 in it, one line has 2, and you're in both lines at the point. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So, with the 4 kind of against the wall there, or no, it would be the other way around. With the one that only has 1 guy to your right would be him, and then the strong side's going to be away from the wall. So you guys rush around, and he rushes around behind you. He hollers for the two domestics, basically the 1 craftsman and the cook to stay behind. He says, "Stay here. We'll get you when we're done." And you guys go rushing off towards that. All right. So you guys you come rushing around, and there's a place where the wall is broken, and you have not been to this place. You've not been to this fort in your patrols yet. This was kind of a new area for you, even though you're towards the end of your 1 month of service. He says, through the wall. And as you start to go over the wall, you see that there are, that there are a bunch of dark figures. Some of them are, some of them are
Actually moving the curtains.
Hmm.
Yeah. Some of them are just kind of like this against the wall, like but there are quite a few that are just like 3 or 4 that are just banging against the door. And this tower's key, at the tower's base, there's one door, and they're banging against it. Give me a wisdom. See, I know you're not real bright, but you notice something.
Roll a 20.
Probably will. Can't see that. Oh, I failed it horribly. 17.
All right, you just that's what you said basically. Is there's that, and then there's somebody standing in the back that seems to be the leader, standing up, and this guy moves more normally than the others. The others are lurching in their movements, but this guy seems to move more normally. But when you get close enough to get a decent look at him, he is a hoard to look upon. He is quite the sight to see.
This is like Army of Darkness.
Yeah. So, and he's wearing, oh, hang on. Let me see if I've got a good description of him here. That's about him. All right, he has gray cracked skin with moving lumps, bulging, and moving around under his skin, so you can see these little bulges moving around under his skin. He's wearing tattered yellow robes, so that you're only seeing that like on his arms and maybe on the front of his face, but he's wearing long tattered yellow robes that hide most of his body, that have a hood on them, so his face kind of sticking out of the hood, but the hood kind of trails down part of the way down his back. So you have your choice of, and as you guys get over the wall, your platoon kind of fans out into a line and Hippie's orders you all forward. And when this thing in the yellow robe sees it, he looks over his shoulder at you, and he lets out a weird kind of crackling shriek, and about 6 of the creatures break off from just kind of like trying to climb up the walls unsuccessfully and move around, shamble over between your avenue of egress and towards him and him himself. So they intervene. So what would you like to do?
I want to charge at him. I guess I'll engage any of them that stepped in front, I guess.
Okay. All right.
Smart move.
And everybody else is pretty much in the room.
Can Rickon get a shot at the leader?
All right. Yeah. Do you want to encourage him? Go ahead and tell me what you want to tell him.
Hey, see if you can kill the guy that's screaming at everybody to... See if you can kill the leader in the yellow robe. That might help us out.
All right. So you holler. You say, see if you can take a shot at him.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
He says yeah. So he pulls out an arrow and readies a shot. So all right. Let me go ahead and copy these guys over.
Copy him over.
So that
I
was
told you there were a couple of dozen of them at least.
Oh boy.
It's all right.
So you're attacking. Rickon's going to attack everybody. Are you prepping anything? Either one of you?
I'm prepping bless.
Okay, so you got your holy symbol out.
Yeah.
You're thinking about it, but you're not quite ready to do
Right.
it. Or waiting to do it. Okay, you gonna do anything, or you're just gonna wait?
Getting ready to load a magic missile.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
So
that sounds-
you're thinking about magic. Okay. Well, go ahead and roll initiative for me. I'll get ready to do this one.
6.
Okay.
Change dice. Didn't bring my Papal glasses.
I've got some readers if you want to borrow.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Do you need the lamp over there? The
I'm
little
okay.
extra lamp?
It's just that dice is I can't. That die I couldn't see. It's kind of glare. It's a metal set, so it's like very reflective from that light.
There are too many D names on this party.
Oh, that's your fault.
Only one of them. Alright.
There we go.
Okay. Alright, what'd you say you rolled again?
A 6.
6.
I'm looking for 6.
Alright.
Rickon's gonna roll a 20. It's gonna Steve Martin his ass. See, I can say that. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Oh, as far as his headgear,
Arrow in the head.
because it's either that or he's hitting oil can. Finding effective oil cans. Look, this oil can's
Oh,
effective.
man.
So is this one.
The Jerk. It's
Yeah.
It's
classic.
a great movie.
She probably doesn't remember what we're talking about.
It's a real good movie. If you want to watch a Steve Martin movie,
I've seen it. I just
Oh,
don't
okay.
remember much about it.
these cans.
Special purpose.
All right. So as you rush in, a couple of the creatures, which are basically obviously undead to you, they are very rotten looking. They stink. They have grubs falling off of them and out of their orifice.
Tasty.
Tasty. You guys are still fishing. All right. A couple of them attack you as you try to push through their lines. There we go. One of them hits you twice, once particularly well. Yeah, because your armor class isn't that great. Maybe that's why I gave you the tortoise blade. I want you to have a better armor class.
Well, I'm shirtless right now, so you know, running around in fur shorts.
Alright.
And it's natural fur.
Natural fur. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, and he hit you with a bite too. So
Nice.
he just comes at you and swipes real good. You know, catches you like in a tender spot, like right here under the ribs, and swipes across your chest, and then like bites on your arm. Your arm he only nips you, but so he does a total of 8 points of damage to you between those 3 attacks.
Nice.
Bringing you down to 20. All right, now the next one. We'll try to attack you as well.
I like your bravery.
Only 23 more to go.
That's all right.
How many hit points?
Damage is experience.
Yeah.
Am I right with it?
He misses with everything except for his bite. You're able to kind of weave away from his.
You're gonna be turned into a zombie.
So he bites you on the side right about here, and does an additional 2 points of damage. So we got you for down to 18 now. Another couple of them attack the guys beside you. They're actually faring a little better. One of them gets slashed across the face with basically the hands, the ends of the fingers are kind of rotted off, so they're like bony claws sticking out. Gets slashed across the face with bony claws, and another one gets bit on the thigh, but they're not doing too terrible. They didn't get hit as hard as you did by the first couple, but they were actually wearing like leather armor. They were not as fashion conscious as you.
Okay.
So
Maybe I'll give me a cod piece or something next. And one more leather protection.
and then
Take the hip bone off of one of these undead.
There you go.
A larger one.
Absolutely a large one.
did I not write that down there? I guess I did. Oh well, I must have missed it when I was doing it. Then let's see, I've got it over here. All right, pick me number 1 through 4.
4.
All right. The big guy then pushes his 2 aside and comes to attack you.
Damn it. All right.
Okay, he slashes at you with his claws. I've got it written down there, don't I? And he hits you with 1 claw, doing 6 points of damage. No. 7 points of damage. So bringing you down to 11 hit points. All right. But he is done. He was unable to hit you with the other claw. But he like
Is your last name Fodder?
he like yeah, I got to get him somebody whose last name's Mutter, so they can be Mutter and Fodder. He scratches you on the face too. So he's done. Go ahead, Gregoris.
All right. 19.
19 will hit.
All right.
All right.
That was 1d6 plus 1 using my character thing. Okay.
And then plus
And
your
then your
strength.
strength, yeah.
What is today? 22nd? 23rd?
So that's what?
Let's see.
13.
Okay, 13 points of damage too.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
job.
you hack into his ribs and bury the double-bladed axe about this deep into his ribs, and you hear the crunch of breaking ribs under it. But he kind of bends over like this, but he's still in the fight. He just kind of roars at you with phlegmy spittle that comes out that has and small grubs and worms just spill out of his mouth as he's roaring. You said 13, right?
Yes. Tasty.
Tasty, yes.
Okay, let's take a time out for just a second so I can ask you for a little bit of help. Don't worry, this one won't cost you a dime. All I need is for you to comment the name of your favorite character and let us know why. Please just keep it positive. I'm sure all our players would love to hear what you have to say. Thanks again. Now let's get back to the show.
Okay.
We're gonna eat well tonight, boys.
All right. So. Okay. So that got that done. So now, a few more of them go in, kind of come in and surround you guys and attack you again. 2 more of them attack you again.
Jeez.
Well, he's got a shit armor class, so
Yeah.
it made this rough on him. Okay, cool. So one of them, he comes shambling up and he tries, in his jerky motion, he tries real hard to swing hard at your throat. And because of the way he's jerking and his feet are too close together, he kind of gets them tangled up and falls down. He rolled a 1 on his first attack attempt. Let's see this last guy. All right, but the last guy, he does hit you twice. Does damage both times. So he does an additional 2 points of damage to you, bringing you down 9. So just very superficial. You're kind of putting your arm up at this time to kind of block, and he's only doing superficial ones to your forearm there. So you're down to 9 now. All right. So that is the end of that round. Or no, excuse me. Rickus. I just scratched him out as I said that. Or not Rickus, excuse me.
Rickon.
He fires off 2 shots and at 2 of the creatures.
I thought he was shooting at the main man in yellow.
Oh, you're right, he is. Okay. He is shooting at the main man in yellow. He hits once, doing kind of, you see an arrow just smack that thing in its shoulder, and it kind of looks up and yells at the tower. And then another arrow misses, and now we get to see who it hits, or if it hits. I'm trying to remember the roll on that. Okay, he'll go ahead and roll off with me. I don't remember the roll, but we'll do it that way.
Okay.
I think it has
What
to do
am I
with
rolling?
sign.
A D10?
A D20.
20?
D20. Roll off with me.
17.
All right. It hits one of the lesser undead that are standing nearby, but it was obviously intended for the master of the undead. Just one that was kind of bobbing around, happened to stick its head up at the wrong time, and it hit it. So. And it fell when it got hit directly in the head.
Cool.
So he's actually down to a couple of them now. Over the last couple of rounds that he's been peppering the courtyard. Okay, and he turns back to after you see Rickon fire twice. He turns back and he's like, "There's a force out in the courtyard, a small force of men." He goes, "They seem to be." He says, "From their leader." He goes, "I think they're from Balic." By the way, your leader is wearing, that kind of like a large scale mail, where the scales are like this big.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of like that, only it's leather, and then he's got the leather kind of what almost look like, the Romans like wearing the things that look like belts or almost like
Yeah, I know what
necktie
you're talking about.
shaped things. He's got some of that on, and then his helmet is one of the ones, although it's made out of like kank chitin. It's one of the ones that has kind of like a little ridge here and a little brim here, and it kind of comes up like that down over the neck and has like a single tassel that kind of like
Okay.
that. That's what he's wearing, and a cape, and he actually throws a dagger at the big guy too. So, and hits him. Okay.
Round 2.
All right. So, but yeah, he turns and tells you guys that there is a
Cool.
small force that is now attacking the undead from the rear. He says perhaps we can catch them like worms in between the jaws of a predator.
Don't want to do that.
You want to run out? All right.
Let's do that.
Damon's kind of like, Damon seems a little like, because I'm kind of in my element here, hiding behind the door, waiting for somebody to come through.
I like the idea of being able to take punches or send punches through the window.
All right. He says. So you have a way that you can strike from a distance.
I
That's
do.
better? Okay. He says there may be a window next door. He goes, go next door, and he looks at
Well, why don't y'all shoot from the pier, and then me and Damon will go down and try to attack
yeah.
and draw some people off.
All right.
How's that sound?
And that works with me.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to cast Bless on
On everybody. Okay, so everybody who's in that room is going to be doing bless.
Yeah.
And so you guys are just hanging out except for him. And
So I'm just going to say praise to all the earth elements, and may this holy words bless everybody in this room.
like throws dust in your eye.
Let's lay hands on everybody.
Leaves a dirty handprint on
I know. So we'll cast Bless on everybody, and I'll
Okay.
read that so that everybody knows. I think it's +1 to your attacks. And something else, and it's plus you get upon uttering the bless spell, the caster raises the morale of friendly creatures, and any saving throw rolls they make against fear effects by +1. Furthermore, it raises their attack dice rolls by +1. It affects only. Sorry, it doesn't affect you, Alex. Affects only those not already engaged in combat, so it'll work for us. And let's see. Yeah, that's what you get. So you get +1 to attack, and you get +1 on your fear saving throws.
Versus fear. All right.
I was hoping it might give negatives to our opponents, but it does not.
Curse them and do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I chose to bless. What am I?
Could have swore that there's something that will. Okay, yeah, I guess not. Okay, so everybody's feeling a little more hopeful now. Everybody in your room.
That's right.
So
Your morale's been jazzed.
So you guys are all going to go off to that'll be the next round that you're going to go off and you're going to shoot out the window, and the two, you and Damon, are going to go downstairs.
I reckon.
All right. Well, back to what do you want to do this round?
I will chop in a dude.
Continue chopping at the big guy.
Yep.
All right.
Bury my bone axe thing.
Okay.
Well, he did say you were coming from the rear.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So basically, that was all of you all for this one round, and now we're going back to him. Okay. Go with your initiative.
Seven. Go in the opposite direction.
Everybody's gonna attack you.
So, you still want a D4 on a D4?
Sure.
This one guy has a hard on for you, apparently. Not the big guy, but one of the smaller infested critters. Smaller infested corpses coming after you. This one only hits you once, though. And he's only doing
27 points of damage.
I would be dead. Be rolling up another character at that point.
All right, he's doing. He once again, you're able to kind of like duck and block, and he just kind of catches you above the elbow with one of his claws for 1 point of damage, doing 8. All right, now the big guy. Who's he going to attack? Because you guys are kind of all close to there. He attacks your buddy. That's exactly what I was thinking. If there was a tree around here, my buddy and me would like to climb up a tree. All right. He swipes with one hand and gets a hold of him here and swipes with another hand, digs his claws in on the other side.
Ouchies.
And
he's going to be murdered.
yes, this guy's not going to be liking what happened here. Okay, so and like I said, you can see blood trickling down from the wounds there, but then he opens his mouth and just vomits out just copious worms all over the guy, and they're just, as he's holding him in place, just vomiting out worms all into his face and his eyes.
I'll make him one of them.
And they're wriggling and trying to burrow into his skin and get up his nose and around his eyeballs and into his mouth.
Ooh.
Let's see how successful they are.
Pretty gross.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think ranged weapons that's something I need to work on. I don't want to be close to these kinds of people. I'm gonna get a catapult.
All right. Now, that's funny because they had one at the first episode, didn't they?
I wasn't even around.
Okay, and they start burrowing into him. You can see just like the end of a worm working its way under his eye, and others that are just gnawing their way into the flesh of his cheeks.
I don't think Cure Light Wound's going to help that very much.
All right, and they just chew his face all to pieces. I mean, he's still got a face. It's not like he's just bone, and he's still alive. But they have gnawed big hunks into his face, just hundreds of little pinhole wounds that have got him looking just like raw hamburger. What was that? That's that guy. Okay, let's see what he has to do to survive that. You'd think I only wrote this like 5 days ago. You'd think I'd remember it. Okay, so that's that guy. He's done. Now, one of your other buddies, and he's still got a hold of him, just looking at him as it's eating his face. One of your other buddies attacks. Seems to be his 2 attack round, and he's able to hit one of the lesser corpses once. Actually twice, and considering who it is, that's enough for him. He just hacks it down like he's hacking through a bush or something with a machete, hacks it down. So
Cool.
now we've got a couple more of the infested come up, and they are going to attack. Let's see if I can find a different D4. I've got several sets in there. Found another D4.
If we were close together, I could cast Spark Skin on you. But we're not.
Okay, he attacks one of your other friends.
Just
You're a
Yeah.
slave. Do you really have friends?
Not
One
really.
of your other, he actually does have one friend at least. One of your other
Yes, sir.
compatriots, brothers in arms, whatever you want to call them. But this guy, he's able to like, it grabs at his armor and is unable to slash through his leather breastplate. So now it is your turn.
All right.
Kill, kill, kill.
I'm gonna chop at that
What makes the grass
wormy
grow?
bastard.
Blood, blood, blood. But there's no grass. 'Cause this is
14. Yeah, 14.
14. All right, a 14 is a hit.
Hey, strong work.
Chop, you chop it.
Choppy meat
That
choppersons.
is 11.
11.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this was with what again? Your
The caracol, the
Caracol,
double-bladed
Yeah. All right.
bow axe.
You chop into his hip on the other side, like you got him in the ribs over there, and then you swing around and catch him in the hip over here. Dig in 4 or 5 inches, but he's still up. And once again, he screams at you now. You're like, damn it, you're the one I should have vomited on. You know? An idea.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sweet.
So he's done, and we've just got one more group, one more of the infested, and it's going to come after. I've got to have another 4 in there.
You need a 4?
No, I've got 4s. They're just hiding from
They're
me.
hiding from me.
There we go. Because I've got
Look
like
at all these pretty
I
dice.
got like 5 sets of dice. in
Nice.
this, so I can only find one.
I've never had this many dice in my entire life. I was like, I don't even need this many dice. I just like the pretty colors.
All right, this one, it kind of tackles the one that's being held by the guy in the yellow robes. It tackles his back and tries to catch him in places. He's unarmored. Let's see if he's successful.
He's not. This is a bad day for
It,
that guy.
yeah, it
Chad.
does.
His name's Chad.
He gets a hold of like his hamstring and digs his bony fingers down below the flesh in it, and the blood that pours from around his fingers on the wound there, because he kind of digs his thumb in and near the inside of his thigh there, and gets a big gout of blood coming out, and it slips on that and falls to the ground, but it's kind of rolling around the blood trying to get itself up, but so it will not be involved.
Round 3.
All right. So now you guys have gotten to the next room's window. You guys have gotten downstairs, ready to burst out.
I'm going to cast Bark Skin on myself if I have time to do that.
All right. That's what you want to do this round. Do you want to tell him to hold on? Don't go
No,
out?
he can do whatever. It's
It's
fine.
like, you go on out. I'll close the door behind you, Cass. I'll be out in a minute. Don't wait up.
I need all the help I can get.
All right, so you're going to cast Bark Skin. You're going to cast your
Magic
Missile. And what are you going to cast it at?
Yellow robes.
Yellow robes. And you get what, 2?
Mhm.
Okay. You're going to continue to
Going, yeah.
attack yellow robes. Let's see. He's going to do that. Okay.
How much of a difference does it for like a called shot? If
What do you want? What do you want to
I
try?
was thinking about like going straight for his skull. Is it a big negative?
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that I've got, because there are kind of called shots in second edition, but
Okay.
they're not exactly the way that I used to do them, but I like the way I used to do them, so I'm trying to remember how that was. All right, yeah, headshot, you're talking about like, I'll give you a -4 penalty, but you're gonna get a percentage of his total damage that you do instead of hit points damage. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna do like half his total damage.
All right, we'll give it a whirl. See what happens. Spice it up a little bit.
All right.
Right on.
So you're gonna try to headshot him with that.
Yeah.
All right, and you guys are doing that? Okay, go ahead and roll your initiative. Remember, with you, you're adding one, what is Mark scan? First or second level skill?
It's a second level.
Okay, so you're gonna add 2 to whatever you roll on your D10.
Okay.
Because I don't do weapon speed, but I do spell casting time. And yes, I know I said do. The reason being is I don't think it makes sense for a weapon that is big and slow, that is this kind of big and slow versus a spell casting, which is
So we roll high on initiative, right?
you're looking for low numbers.
Low numbers.
Yeah.
So I take 2 off my initiative.
No, you add 2 to your
You
initiative.
add 2. Okay.
It makes it 2 worse.
Oh, okay.
Because
70.
it takes the
Oh,
higher
yeah,
level
no.
the spell, the longer it takes to
Oh,
cast.
got you. I got 72.
I'm sorry?
72?
On
So
a
you got-
D10?
Oh, okay. Hold on. That was mine. Here we go. 3.
3,
There you
okay,
go.
so 5 then. Alright, so you got 5. Let me go ahead and write that down, then I'll ask everybody else.
Sorry.
There's 5. Okay, what you got?
I got a 6, so a 7.
7. What you got?
2.
2. He's gonna get. Okay, go Gregoris.
All right.
Gregoris.
16.
16. That, as a called shot, will not hit.
That's what I
He
thought.
ducks. He ducks and it misses.
All right.
You tried.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Hang on, let me see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is a single attack round. Remember, next round's your 2 attack round, okay?
I'll have 2 attacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you.
I didn't
every
realize
other
that.
round you're gonna get 2 attack round
Okay. Gotcha.
because you're specialized.
I forgot all about that.
Cool. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah. So Gregoris swings at the thing's head and it ducks and he misses.
Oh, excuse me.
So now that brings us to one of the creatures, one of the lesser creatures, and it is going to go after. Let's see, we got a couple more now as possibilities. No, he takes the place of the other one. So. All right, so it's going to go after another one of your soldier friends, brothers in arms. Miss. All right, I can't roll level 5. So he's able to like keep his bracers in between him and it as it's trying to bite stuff. So, and then there's another one of them that is going to go after her. Let me roll, see how it goes first. It's going to go after Damon, and it will hit him twice.
Oh, poor Damon.
Or Damon.
That's why he wanted to stay behind the door.
Yeah, I tried to tell you. And it just reaches up and slashes at his chest, and slashes at his leg, at the upper leg, and opens up parallel wounds that are like half-inch deep that start bleeding fairly quickly. Brings us down to okay. So now we go to what is that? Okay, go ahead and cast your spell. So you You cast your bark skin. Okay, and it brings your
Down to
armor class
6.
down by what?
Down to from 9 to 6.
6. Okay. Right there. All right. So you've got that cast. Damon then attacks back at the creature that attacked him. He's actually able to hit it. Doing a little bit of damage. Let's see. He runs it through its guts, but it does not die. Runs his bone short sword just right through its stomach, but the creature is still like grabs hold of the blade of his sword. Ugh. I hate it when that happens. Get a little cramp like right here. So let's you two go. Well, no, sorry. Now his ranger friend Rickon, he fires off a couple arrows, and he hits the guy in yellow twice. The guy in the yellow robe twice.
Cool.
Fair damage. He catches him in the back on the shoulder blade and buries it about that deep. And the guy turns around to look because it was a good shot, and then he catches him like right here just below the xiphoid process. And he kind of takes a step back, but he's still up and alive. But at this point, he has been hacked and pricked and cut several times, and he's not looking so great. So that's him. Now go, Dottie. Hello, Dottie.
Magic missiles, are they just direct hits or?
Yeah, you're just
Okay.
rolling damage. They hit automatically on this.
Kill it, kill it, kill it. Do it.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Sweet.
Are they +1s on those?
Yeah, I did the +1s
Yeah.
already.
Okay, that's what I was asking. I was like, it's
Yeah.
2d4. And I was like, oh yeah, it's +1 each. Excuse me. All right. When he turned around and got kind of knocked back like that, you then, within a few seconds, hit him again and just both sides of his chest. Just like that. And help if I would actually listen to myself. There we go. That's-
If that helps, you just started humming Smoke on the Water.
Oh no, that was actually three notes from Iron Man. You're just lucky there's not a priest of air around. All right, and he is not liking that at all. So he lets out a loud wail, and all of his minions break off of their attack and start heading towards him, and he turns away. You're in melee with him, so if you want to take a shot at his back, you
Absolutely.
Sweet.
One shot, right?
can. Yeah, one shot at his back.
13?
13, just a regular shot
Yeah.
for him. That just misses. You hit him in the armor.
Okay.
And you hit him in an armored part, and it makes him kind of stumble forward, but it doesn't seem to do any significant damage to him. So, and he kind of hunkers down with all of his dead around him. Although Rickon's going to try to take a shot at him too. And he actually hits him, but it is only incidental. He's able to kind of weave it in, but get it in between the heads of a couple of the others. It kind of catches him in the side of the neck, and he continues to run away with an arrowhead sticking, arrowhead and shaft sticking this far out of one side of his neck and out of the back of his neck over here. But they're moving off. All the commotion, you didn't hear that he had blown out a war horn. He had taken out and let off a couple of blasts of the war horn. So. Calling for reinforcements because he knew that there were more cohorts kind of around, within a few miles. And now it sounds like there's some off, so he orders everybody back into the keep.
Okay, it's time for a little break. Thank you for watching. And to thank you for getting this far into the video, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We're running a Superfan Appreciation Contest. Well, actually, it's 2 contests in one. We will be doing a weekly giveaway where you can win a game token of one of the monsters, NPCs, or PCs from Shadows of Balic. In this first contest, each week we'll be giving away a different token. These tokens will be in electronic file format, both PDF and PNG, so you can use them on your home tabletop or in a virtual one. To be eligible for the weekly contest, you just need an email to receive your prize, to be a subscriber of the Slow Children at Play channel, and to comment the correct answer to this week's contest question before the premiere of next week's episode of Shadows of Balic. The winner will be chosen at random from all the correct answers on the Slow Children at Play live stream the week following the episode's premiere. Here's an example of how that'll work. If an episode premiered on, say, Wednesday the 5th of March 2025, the winner for that episode would be chosen from the correct answers posted by 11:59 and 59 seconds on the 13th the week after. The winner would then be announced on the 14th on the Friday night Slow Children at Play live stream. Then the winner will be given on-screen instructions on how to claim their prize. If the winner does not contact us by the time of the premiere of the following episode of Shadows of Balic, they forfeit their prize and it is added to the next week's contest prizes. The second contest will start at the time of the premiere of the first episode of Shadows of Balic Season 1 and last until the Slow Children at Play live stream following the last week of the first season. The prize for the Season 1 contest is this awesome chainmail dice bag. The dice bag was handmade by me using golden aluminum rings. It can hold around 40 standard-sized dice. That's just shy of 7 complete sets. The dice shown here are not included as part of the prize and are only shown for scale. Unlike the first contest, you must live in the United States of America to be eligible for the second contest. The reason for this is it is a physical item and international shipping is cost prohibitive. Aside from geographic eligibility considerations, to participate in the second season-long contest, you must be a subscriber of the Slow Children at Play channel and correctly answer the weekly questions for each week of Season 1 of Shadows of Balic prior to the end of the contest. I'm looking forward to sending out your prizes. Good luck. Oh, one last bit of legal business that I have to cover. First of all the contests and all their prizes are solely the promotion and responsibility of the operators of the Slow Children at Play channel. They are not sponsored by or associated with any entity, platform, such as but not limited to YouTube, Rumble, or Spotify, or corporation. Secondly, the rules for both of these contests can be found in the video description below. There you will also find a link to an off-site document that contains the same rules for your convenience. Alright, now that we have all the rules straight, I believe it's time to get to this week's question. Are you ready? Just remember you have to answer in the comments section below, and only correct answers count. Good luck! Alright, let's see if you were paying attention today. The contest question for this episode is, in this episode, what village had Dodsvald's doomed former party left out of before their ill-fated mission that led her to Fort Hopsia? Okay, that wasn't so tough, was it? If you don't know the answer off the top of your head, it should be a simple matter to go find it. Remember to catch next week's Slow Children at Play live stream to find out if you won. Good luck. Oh, one last thing. To go directly to the next video, just click here. And if you'd like to go to the playlist for this season, click down here. You have a great day. Bye-bye.